also talk about the cold and flu season and what I am seeing right now in my practice. So people are coming in, I'm asking them what supplements they're taking. They're telling me maybe a multivitamin, some zinc, maybe some vitamin D. Okay, how much zinc are you taking? I don't know. Well, we need to find out. We find out their supplement, their multivitamin has maybe 10 milligrams of zinc in it. Okay, they're taking a 50 milligram supplement of zinc. I say, are you taking that on an empty stomach? Yeah, but I think I'm going to stop taking it. Why? I don't know. I said, do you get really nauseous after taking it? And they're like, yes, like I feel sick. Do not take zinc on an empty stomach. For the love of peace in the world, don't take zinc on an empty stomach. Always, 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 always take it with a meal. Another thing with zinc, the upper limit on zinc is 40 milligrams. Now, if we're actively sick, I'm cool with doing 50 plus milligrams if it's less than 10 days or less than 2 weeks. What we start getting into is copper deficiency, and I think copper's slept on actually. When we have like an idiopathic anemia and they're like, don't know what it is. How's your copper, hun? Probably trash. So copper is in a lot of foods. It's in nuts, seeds, legumes, tofu. Like you should get a good amount. If you have a whole food diet, like you should get a good amount of copper. But the thing with copper is copper and zinc absorb in the gut. So they're going to start competing, okay? And when we have high doses of zinc, we have it induces what's called metallothionein. And that is actually, even if you have a good whole food diet and you have copper in your diet, it's still going to start taking that copper. It usually doesn't happen if you have it within 2 week range of a high dose zinc. But what I'm seeing is people take this high dose zinc and then they're having issues. It could be starting out with fatigue. It starts to mimic things like anemia. Also can start with messing with your muscles. And so that's a copper deficiency. And when we are looking at how much to take, what to take, we usually do an 8-to-1 ratio, and that's not by milligrams. So if you're taking 10 milligrams of zinc a day, it's not a big deal. Just have a good balanced diet. If you're taking 15 to 30 milligrams a day, usually not a big deal if you have a good, well-balanced diet. You're eating a lot of processed foods and you're really not getting a lot of your nutrients. You're likely going to need copper. Now, you can always look at your multivitamin and see if there's copper in it. Some of the multivitamins just omit it. Rule of thumb is if you're taking 30, you probably want about 1 milligram of copper. Now, a good supplement of zinc is going to have, if it's got 50 milligrams of zinc in it, it should have 1 to 2 milligrams of copper in it. That's what you should be looking for. That company should know this person is taking a higher dose over the upper limit of the zinc. We need to give them copper because no one's going to talk about it unless they're seeing someone that knows about these nutrients. If you are sick and you're taking 50 milligrams of zinc, I'm cool with that. Like, do you? But if you're going to take that over 2 weeks, you need to start getting one with copper. Now, the forms that I recommend, zinc picolinate is probably one of my favorites. Well absorbed, raises zinc levels. Also glycinate or bisglycinate and citrate. Now the acetate is mostly what you'll find in the zinc lozenges. So you have to be careful with those lozenges because if you're just popping those back, you've got to think about copper deficiency as well. Copper gluconate, also copper bisglycinate, and copper citrate. So the forms I would absolutely avoid would be the sulfate ones. They're cause a lot of GI upset. There is another form of zinc that is one of my favorites when I'm dealing with GI health only, is carnosine. Carnosine is chef's kiss when we've got leaky gut, IBS, things like that, where the gut needs healing, the tight junctions need healing there. But when we're looking at taking zinc for the immune system, we've got to think about copper. And just to shine a light on copper and the enzyme ceruloplasmin, that when we have anemia, and it's an idiopathic anemia, your red blood cells are low, your hematocrit is low, but your MCV is fine, your MCH is fine, your MCHC is fine, maybe your RDW is normal or high, and then we get into your iron may be normal, your ferritin may be normal or even high, your transat is low. What's going on? Copper. It's likely a copper deficiency. And these people are just pushed to the side. And then, so, like I said, I'm back here cleaning up the mess. And it's just not talked about enough how copper is needed. With the ceruloplasmin, that actually says, hey, iron, get out and let us travel you around and get into the red blood cell. That's why that ferritin could be normal or high, because we've got iron, but it's trapped because we have a copper deficiency. And so we still have anemia because we can't produce the erythropoietin that helps with the production of the red blood cells. And so we have low red blood cells, low hematocrit, we have fatigue, we have things going on. We even scope them. We'll even send them to the GI and make sure that there's no internal bleeding. Nope. Not that. But are they taking high dose